Greetings, minions and fellow gamers. This is Silverblade doing a review of Between the Stars. It's basically a space adventure game where you get to fly around in a ship to basically, well, follow the storyline. It's got a Kickstarter going, and before we get into that, let's show some of the details to it. It's by Isolated Games. It's for Windows 7 minimum, and you can probably run on Windows 10. It's got space battles, special abilities to your ship that you can customize. You can get new ships. You can choose your captains, sector maps, enemy space stations. Pretty interesting game. It's my kind of game. Because it's a space adventure game. Right now I have the demo of it, and let's see if I can pull up the Kickstarter for it. Let's see. Somewhere around here. Well, let's go into the game and check it out. Here we go. This is the Kickstarter. So it comes out, I think, in the first quarter of 2019, and it's met its goal. Let's see. You get prizes based on how much you donate to the Kickstarter. All kinds of goodies. And you can see a little bit here what the game is like. And there's different ships you can get, space stations you can visit. It's very much like either the X Universe games, like X2, X3, and soon to come out X4. It's also a bit like, I would say, No Man's Sky, something in that vein. But it's got a storyline to it. And you can see some of the graphics for the characters. And you have crew members that you can select for engineering and stuff like that can help you out in it. There's events. It plays out sort of like a choose your own adventure storyline into it. And what your choices are the consequences that you'll have to deal with. So you have to keep that in mind as well. There's a permadeath, and that's kind of a sour spot for me, in the sense that, if it doesn't have any saves, at least in the demo. So if you make a mistake, you cannot go back and correct it. The other side of that, or the other thing to add to that, is if you are doing a mission and you accidentally, or didn't even realize, sold off a key item and you can't get it back, your game is pretty much over and you have to start over again. So that's kind of a downside for me. But you can combat aliens and humans as well. And you can choose whatever weapons you want. When you go to stations, you can select more powerful weapons, shields, engines, I think. You can also get salvage pods, which have money in it, or certain elements that you can find that will help you along with missions or constructing, crafting items and stuff like that. I have the music turned off, as I always do in any game that I do reviews of, as well as any games that I play. But the music's actually pretty good. You can see what's all in there. You can get unique skins. There's a PDF book. So they went all out with the details in this game. Now, it is quite early in the development, I guess, of this game. So I don't think all the features are ready for it yet. But as far as I can tell, it's a pretty good game. There's some things that I wasn't too enthralled with, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, first of all, you can't. There's no save game, so at least for the demo, so you can't go back to where you last left off. I think that will probably change when the game is released. So take a second to load up here, and it'll do a cutscene. Any day now.
Alert. Systems damaged. Warp drive pressure increasing.
Crew, boost warp drive to full power.
But Captain...
I said full power, that's an order!
Redistributing power. Capacitors charging in 4, 3.
Just a bit more!
I'm giving it all she's got.
We've made it.
Now, one of the things I don't like is the controls.
Damage analysis.
Starting damage assessment protocol. Testing main engines.
So now we're doing kind of a tutorial on the game.
Moderate damage. Engines operational.
Kind of give you a notion of what to do. So this is the part I contend with. Q and E should actually be W and S, and W and S should be Q and E. So you see here the yaw of the ship. I feel more comfortable when it's A and D. So I would really like to see the ability to change the controls. So you can do energy shifting between the engines, the weapons, and the shield.
Power distribution correct.
Alright.
Captain, we're detecting warp signatures in the vicinity.
We've been followed. Prepare for attack.
Yeah. So this is kind of awkward feeling right off the get-go. Because the controls kind of bog me down a little bit.
Captain, reinforcements incoming. We need more firepower.
Okay, so there's a ship over that way. Whoa, just about hit that one. And I'm still trying to spin around.
Objectives neutralized.
Good work, team. Is everyone all right?
Captain, I've determined this news will cause a decline in crew morale of 64.7%. But I must inform you that the enemy bypassed our shields. 2 casualties confirmed.
Well, that sucks. So now we can go and salvage from these ships. As you can see, they'll glow, and a little hand icon will appear like so, and you will salvage what's in it. And you get, I guess, random crates depending on what the game decides is good for you. There's an uncommon. So now we gotta find all the way up here. Okay. Now you'll have to excuse me if I don't get overly expressive about doing a review for this game. And it's not anything against the game itself, it's the fact that I did this review already, but I made the mistake of not having my audio turned on. And this is after a long 6 hours of recording my usual content. So I was too tired to even want to deal with it after that. So all right, we got an epic salvage. Let's see, is there any one more ship? So we'll start heading towards them. All right. Now the thing is, this mission will continue on with a whole bunch of other things going on, but the main thing I just wanted to show you is how well the graphics are, how smooth it plays, and it does play real smoothly. Again, the controls are awkward, and that really throws me off, so the Q and E needs to be swapped with the A and D. Also, moving around like this with the guns and stuff, I can get adjusted to that, but it is a little off-putting. So let's check out what our inventory is. Now you can see here there's weapons. I think you could put in shields in these slots. Let's just open up some crates. So we got some credits, got some protonite. Some more credits, some protonite, synthetic minisite. Now this is an uncommon pod. More credits. Got some hardened Eurovite. And this is an epic one. A lot of credits. Calcinite. Quantum core, which I think might be misspelled, and black Argax, and then we got a Cannon of the Republic Mark IV, and we have, let's see, Gatling of the Republic, light cannon of the Republic. So 76 and 25 damage and the accuracy of 48, which really it trumps anything we have up here. So it's, let's see, the firing rate doesn't say, and that one's got better range, so we'll put that one in there. Plus it's a normal quality, which is, I think, that's improved than what I had. So only got that. Alright. And then we got 2 corpses, which are basically just the crewmen that were killed.
System analysis. Critical. Repairs needed immediately.
No
All
kidding.
right, Mai, what's our current position?
We are currently in the Thama 6 sector. It is on the outskirts of the Interstellar Republic's headquarters.
We should be able to reach it using our drive engines.
Preparing warp drive.
Okay, so here is a map of the sectors. Now, the movement of this is very not helpful. You move the mouse a little bit and you just start whizzing around. That's why I'm trying to creep it along very gingerly to the sectors here. So Tacit Stella is right there.
Warp drive engines damaged. Jump impossible.
Which is the closest space station in this sector?
It's the trade station and Terrace port.
Okay, set in the coordinates.
Coordinates set.
Okay, now we're going to use the quantum engines.
My situation report on Antero's port.
Accessing database.
There we go. Gotta
This
head towards the
station
direction
serves
of
as
it.
a crucial hub for business tycoons and mining sector speculators. It has a large port specialized for trade freighters that return full of materials from mining settlements. They also swear they have the best beet soup recipe in the universe.
Can't see through the ship too well, but alright, so we'll try to get into the station here. And of course, I'm still mentally programmed to do
Captain Scott from the 5th Republic Fleet here. We request docking permission.
certain controls.
Station control tower here. Dock at the assigned bay. Over.
Receiving coordinates. Establishing communication. Docking protocol prepared.
Okay, we gotta slow it down a little bit. And you cannot see where you're gonna crash into. And boom.
Docking complete. Only the authorized personnel can disembark.
You discover a great commotion around the freighters on the station when you exit your ship. You hear shouts from all angles and merchants bidding ever-increasing numbers over merchandise. Your crew and yourself leave the freighters behind and search for a repair shop. You find yourself looking at the neon lights when someone bumps into your shoulder. You look down. Ouch, that hurt. It's a scruffy young woman who begins to collect spanners and metallic objects of all sorts she had on her as she tries to steady herself. Sorry, I wasn't looking where I was going. Don't worry, are you hurt? You should be more careful. You're speaking with the Captain of the Republic. So this kind of sets up the tone of your character that you're playing. Whether he's an asshole or whether he's a decent guy or just like whatever, you know. So you have lawful good, neutral, frickin' evil, I guess, if you're going to look at it in the D&D alignment type. No, it was my fault entirely. Oh, excuse me, Captain. I'm so sorry. My name is Susan. I'm the head of the Pulsar Ship Repair Workshop. What can I do for you? Actually, we're just looking for a repair shop of our own. No, we're just passing through. You walk together to the docking bay where your ship is located. Susan rubs her eyes incredulously. No way, a KP 56 warship. It's completely totaled. How did you manage to? Susan sighs deeply. Alright, we can do it, but it won't be cheap or easy. The repair cost highly exceeds your credit account. After negotiating, you agree to handle a series of tasks for her in return for payment. In the meantime, they shall give you a completely operational ship. Susan, do you know where we can find the transmission room? Of course, Captain, there's a transmission bay in the next district over. I can show you the way. Large space stations often have a transmission system highly superior to that of a normal ship. Highly superior to that of normal ships, allowing for cross-sector communications. You walk through the station until reaching the transmission bay, where you encounter 2 guards. After identifying yourself, you're allowed to pass and spot the transmission crew busily sending coordinates and data to nearby stations. You are granted a terminal in order to send a situation report to the Republic. Perform the transmission. Captain Scott here. We're transmitting from the Antaros port station near Sector Thamma 6. Can't speak. Captain Scott, we're expecting your arrival. We were expecting your arrival 2 Earth days ago. Explain the situation. So we'll just go through all that. I ain't gonna read it all, but it'll give you a mission in the long term. But in the short term, we'll just deal with all this. So make a funeral arrangements, and then we'll accept the contract, and then we'll go and pick through here for the ship weapons. So probably should have kept the weapons from my other ship. But we'll get it back later on. So you can add your crew, and sometimes you'll have the same members, so you have to figure out which one is the higher skilled one, or the one appropriate for it. So you can go here and you can see Intelligent Missile Launcher Mark 1, Interceptor Laser, so that's like, I think that'd be point defense, ion reactor, and you got your money here. If you also will need, like if you got blueprints for something to craft it, you'll have to use these here to get it done, and you have to assign crew members to like a research lab and things like that. So from here you would engage in a quest of sorts. You know, you exit the station to give you a new ship, and you have to do certain tasks, and you come back and you get your ship back, I guess, with it fully repaired. And it's more or less the choose your own adventure kind of concept with the dialogue and all that. So I hope that explains it at least fairly well.
Everyone to their post. We must find that missing freighter.
Alright, so we're going to go to the main menu here just to get out of the game. But overall, it's interesting. It needs some refinement, in my opinion. You know, again, the controls are very frustrating because when you do other games of this nature, you kind of have a standardized setup. You know, A and D makes you yaw left and right. Q and E generally, sometimes it changes, makes it so you can roll left and right. And W and S are the pitch. And that works pretty good for most games, but when you come to this, it changes that up. The fact that there's no save makes this kind of a risky game. I went to as far as a battle in the end where you have ships jumping in all over the place. Sometimes you can't even tell the good guys from the bad, especially if you're not used to this game universe, and I'm not. So you start shooting at things and realize, oh, that's a good guy. Whoops. So maybe I wasn't paying attention to the color-coded markers, but in fact, I'm pretty sure I wasn't. But it was exciting in combat, but at the same time, so frustrating because the controls. I just could not get over the controls. And when you look at the settings, you know, this is like it. You know, you get all these options, and reverse pitch control. That's just, it's weird. I wonder if I guess I could do that. Well, I just learned something new there. But but yeah, this game has got a Kickstarter, and I'm pretty sure they met their goal. But I don't know if they're accepting any more for this. This is just a demo, and hopefully they'll have the full game out in the first quarter of 2019. But it's a fun game. I played it for several hours, and I had to put it down after a while because I couldn't get over. I just couldn't get over the controls. But everything else is pretty good. I do have a little bit of a complaint on the dialogue. It can be a little bit wooden or just cartoony at times. But that really isn't a detraction from the game. I would love to see how this game develops and turns out in the end. And I really hope that the creators, let's see what's the name, Isolated Games, stays with it and listens to feedback from players, and I hope to have is a fan base that would strongly encourage the developers to add new things and to change things and make it a little bit more accessible. But other than that, this game shows a lot of promise. I would say if I was to do a rating score, it ranges, I would say, between a 6 and a 7. I would put it kind of in between at a 6.5. It's got some things to overcome. Some growth is needed and all that, but that's just going to come with time. So if they keep up with it, I think this game will do pretty good. If they don't keep up with it, it'll just wither and die on the vine. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but games that I've seen doing demos and Kickstarter and all that, some of them don't last that long. So fingers crossed. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something out of this. And do check out the links in the description box below. I should have a link in it for Between the Stars. And go check it out when it comes out on Steam in 2019. So until then, thanks for watching, and see you later. Twitch.